Welcome. I've got a couple of pieces of cast stock here, and I'm going to use this to make solar panel jacks. Now, how it's going to work, it's going to be explained later on. I'm first going to do all the machining. I'm not going to explain too much on the process. It will be self-explanatory at the end of the video. So I hope you enjoy this one. Right, I've cut them on the bandsaw in more or less between 26 and 27 millimeters. Now, for these faces, on each block is machined and square, and only the heads that are unequal due to the bandsaw cuts. Now, I want to face them all together, because facing them one by one is not practical or is a waste of time, especially if you want to do bulk. So my solution to this is very easy. If you saw my previous videos, I made this miniature toolmaker's vise, and this is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to show you how to use it. It's very simple, and I think it's genius. Just add your stocking into the vise with all the cleaned up faces touching the vise all around the bottom and the sides, so your uneven faces will be sticking out the side. And I've got it down on my square here, so everything at the bottom is more or less square. But what's the most important is that it sits square at the bottom of the vise itself. So now you just tighten it up. And now what you do is you put it into your machiner's vise or on the mill itself. You clamp it like this, using your vise. You square up your vise in the jaws on parallels, and then you've got a perfectly square reference to cut the 4 blocks of face of 4 blocks basically on top. When you're done, you repeat the process for the other side. Very simple. Okay, here it's clamped in the vise. Now what happens is, because it's clamped between the 2 flat surfaces, these top faces will be clamped square in the bottom of the vise, and because the vise is square at the bottom, it will be clamped square to the back jaw. So everything here is square except for the top faces. So now when I clean this up, everything should be 100% square. Okay, just to prove my method, square got it. If we look at all the planes, this method works very well. I might put this in a separate video as a tutorial in case somebody doesn't watch the specific video, then at least they can learn something from it, even if they're not interested in the specific build. So if you see this in a separate video, don't worry about it if you've already seen it. At least you know why I'm showing this again. Okay, I found center with the edge finder on these two edges. So I'm perfectly centered on the block. Block is 20 millimeters thick. So I want the hole to be symmetrical from 3 sides. So I've moved in 10 millimeters from the outer edge. Same on this side. So this side I'm using absolute and this side I'm using incremental on the DRO. Now I've got a split point drill bit in here, so I'm not going to center drill it. Now I'm going to drill and tap for a M8 hole. That's going to go right through. Okay, now what I've found center of these two blocks using the absolute and incremental functions on my DRO. I'm going to drill in a 4mm hole, and that hole will be the end where my slitting saw is going to stop, and that's going to prevent any crackings or cracks from forming right in the corner. The way it works is very simple. You use the M6 bolt to clamp it to the panel, because that's what the slot is for. And then you've got about 40 millimeters of adjustment that you can use to set the height of the jack, and then use this nut to lock it. So yeah, it's a very straightforward concept. There's a little bit of give to it, but it doesn't matter. It can flex. The panels overall has got a bit of flex in it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this build. It's simple, a simple design, but it's a lot of work to make a batch of them. So yeah, the next time, cheers.